Jackson.
Yes, sir. You know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afc North Sports Show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You know where to catch us every Friday night. That's 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. We all over the place now. We had to go ahead and shoot some of that RSS feed to get a little more distribution going. What's cracking, fellas? What's good?
What's happening?
I'll be back on, man.
Hey. Same old thing, same old bat station, same old bat channel. Everything, man. I was chopping it up with Juice, man. It looks like the Tennessee Titans are going to start Will Levis, like off the rip. I don't get that.
I get it. I mean, I think the Tannehill experiment is over. I would love to see him have run back Willis. Oh, what you talking about, Willis? See what he going to do. I like the way he played during the end of the season, but but come to find out they let Willis go, and go and get a rookie shot. Go and let him do his thing out there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hell, it ain't like they going to the Super Bowl anyway.
You don't think Willis would have ever matured and developed into nothing?
I like the way Willis was coming on. At me and Juice on the rewind, we talked about this. And they're going to continue to lose. Willis going to get in there, and things going to start to go the other way. Now we're going to have to make these choices. Tannehill isn't that dude. He's never been that dude to me in my eyes.
Agreed. I think Tannehill, his days were numbered, a few years ago. You can just see that he just doesn't have what it takes to, take a team all the way. Everything is centered around Derrick Henry, and I thought Malik Willis would be, him and Henry in the backfield. I thought it would, manifest into something special. But you know how these GMs, how these coaches are, man. They give the black quarterbacks a short leash, and that's just the way it is right now. So,
and remember, Juice Man. I had told y'all on the show, I said it's going to take one person to put Derrick Henry on his wallet.
Right?
Yeah. Remember I said that.
Yeah.
Game it was, and they met him in the hole, put him
right,
and that team started doing it. They started trending south. Yeah. And this is what it is. Henry goes, they go. Because they're not a team that's going to come back from 3 touchdowns. Down and battle it. That's not in their DNA. No. They want to control it, get their run game going, pound it out, and beat you into submission. Hey, the league has caught up to Derrick Henry. They've caught up to him.
Right. And the Titans' defense is it's solid, but it's not elite. So
agreed.
They've got to score points.
Absolutely. Solid, not elite. I think when they had Julio Jones and A.J. Brown and Tannehill still couldn't get the safety out of the box to stop Derrick Henry, I think the writing was on the wall. To be honest, Tannehill pulled a Kirk Cousins. I think coming out of Texas A&M, I think one season he messed around and threw for 4,000 yards, and he got a real big contract, and we know how that works. Don't look like old Malik Willis going to get too much of a shot. He hit the IG scene, and he was like, the tide's going to turn, something of that nature. I'm going to talk a little bit real quick before we jump into this AFC North situation. Dr. Producer, Juice Man, the Boogie, and Breezy the Don. King Dre on assignment, Big E on assignment. Got a couple things going on with the family. And, it's that summertime football practice. So we're riding this thing 3D, 3 aces. So it is what it is. I think Kyle Shanahan is I think Kyle Shanahan is sabotaging Trey Lance. And I'm going to tell you why. Reports coming out of the Bay Area saying that the San Francisco 49ers are now no longer interested in developing Trey Lance as the deal starter.
I mean, I know I'm hard on him, but come on, really?
Now I had to take a look at that. It doesn't make sense. So you give up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback you could have gotten at 12, and he gets hurt, and now you're no longer interested in developing him as your starting quarterback. That smells like Lynch and the front office know they're not going anywhere. But Kyle Shanahan, that seat is getting warm. I think if Shanahan don't get it this year with San Francisco, he might be out of there. He's been to what, 3, 4 NFC championships and a Super Bowl?
I think they break through. I think they break through eventually. Because they were rolling with Purdy. It's just the fact that they can't keep a healthy quarterback. Yeah. Now you're down to Johnson that had played for everybody and their mama. And it's like, we knew what that was once Purdy got hurt, man. The Eagles got this in the bag. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I'm thinking
I think Shanahan puts too much pressure on his quarterbacks. And I mean, you think that with the type of running game that he designs, you would think that would help the quarterback out. Why not help Trey Lance and instead of having him run the ball, give it to McCaffrey, give it to who's the other, Elijah Mitchell. They're deep at running back.
Yes.
So it just doesn't make sense for them to have Trey Lance do all the running when they've got reliable backs behind him. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I think Shanahan is it's going to be time. He's got to put up or shut up.
So pick this out. Okay. In 2012, the then Washington Redskins selected Robert Griffin III out of Baylor University with the number 2 pick. At the end of round 2, they drafted his backup.
Yep.
Kyle Shanahan trades 3 first-round picks to move all the way up to number 3 to draft Trey Lance and draft Mr. Irrelevant in the 7th round last pick. So it's kind of like they're playing head games. It's like, we're going to pick you, but we got your backup just in case. So you're already starting off with your feet in the sand, like, get this dude time. But I think it's more or less pointing towards Shanahan know it's hot. The seat is hot. And I think, I'll be honest, I think Purdy gives us the best chance to win right now. And he doesn't have time to wait on Trey Lance to develop. Well, how about this? How about you stop being like your daddy and stop running the quarterbacks into the ground and breaking their ankles and blowing out their knees, and then you don't have to worry about it. You didn't you didn't call an RPO for Matt Ryan. Your daddy didn't call an RPO for Jay Cutler. It was simple. It was simple zone run, play action. Zone run, play action. It works. You add these wrinkles in, and then you get your project or your athletic quarterback broke up, and then it's like, oh well.
Now, Doc, I will say this. We're going to see, I think I texted this in the group. The NFL landscape is about to change, fellas. There are no longer any more forward handoffs. Yep. That RPO stuff is dead. Because you can't pull it back no more and pass. It's a penalty. You got to hand it off.
Sure.
So that 49er offense is going to have to come up with a wrinkle. We about to get into this NFC North, and we know at least one team, well, 2, one for sure that runs it, a second one that might, but the other 2 they don't. That ain't their MO. So things gonna change this season.
That's right.
It's gonna change, and we're gonna see. I'm glad the NFL, the Rules Committee, is coming up with this because it's very tricky. The run play option, is very tricky. You have to be very disciplined. But now defense, if you see a forward handoff, he already knows it's a run. So
let's see. So we're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals. They got their mini camp on the way. again, they are the defending AFC North champions. Baltimore gave Lamar Jackson his money. They signed Odell Beckham. Deshaun Watson is coming in back with a full all season to kind of get his legs up there and get things going to see what's going down. And the Pittsburgh Steelers got help on the defensive side of the ball. So that's going to be a competitive division. I'm looking forward to that one. As with all divisions, it's kind of like it's weird how Cleveland kind of is a pest to Cincinnati. Like they always play them tough. Mm-hmm. Baltimore can't beat Cincinnati. And Pittsburgh and the Ravens is kind of like always fighting. So I'm looking forward to this division. I think, honestly, the Steelers came up the most during the draft. They didn't really move as much as far as, like free agency or whatever. I like the Odell Beckham move. I'm not in love with it. I would love it if they had DeAndre Hopkins on the other side. But, yeah, I'm not totally in love with that move. I'm looking to see how this one goes shape for real.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the most competitive divisions. All the teams, well, besides my Steelers, made some significant moves, especially on the offense. I just can't wait to see how it translates on the field in competitive play. I think it's going to be a 3-team race, really. It's going to be the Bengals, it's going to be the Ravens. I'm just not sure about the Browns, and I think the Steelers are going to make. They're going to be somewhere in the mix. I'm going to say around 3. So
one thing the Browns do have is a good offensive line.
Yeah,
they got a real good offensive line. I think PFF, Pro Football, has them rated like Pro Football, whatever it is, so-called whatever expert magazine. They have them pretty high. I think it's like 2-3 behind the Eagles, somewhere around there. So Cleveland, they got a good offensive line.
Right.
I still think Cincinnati is the team to beat in this division. I love Burrow, go Tigers. Jamar Chase, go Tigers. Boyd could easily be a number 1 option on any other ball club. But I think what's overlooked mostly with Cincinnati is that D-line, that defensive line. It is this. I'm going to go and throw my prediction out. I like Cincinnati this year. I don't even think they take a step back. I think they take a step forward. I like them to get this done this year. And the team that's going to be on their heels, I'm going to surprise y'all with. But, I like Cincinnati this year. Burrow is clearly making a name for himself in the league. Everybody be like, yeah, he got Chase and Boyd. Yeah, that's true. Hell, Derek Carr had Waller and everybody else and Devontae Adams and, just like Garoppolo, same things. And looking at the playmaker right there. Cincinnati, they'll split with the Steelers. They'll give the Ravens the blues. They'll give Cleveland the blues. But, I like Cincinnati this year. What
you think about the Steelers' offensive line issue?
I think the Steelers are going to shore up. Like everybody last year was down on Tomlinson. Oh, the Steelers are going to be Tomlinson first lose the season. I'm looking at the Steelers this year. They only get better. It's going to be Pickett, second go round. He should be a little bit more polished. I love the young receivers. I love Najee. That's what it is. That Steeler D going to always be there. But love Minka. Minka is a qualified baller, a Watt out there. Steelers will finish second. There will be no 9-8.
What?
They're not going 9-8. The Steelers are going 11-6.
Oh wow!
They're going 11-6. All the Steeler haters. I'm a Raider, but this Steeler team, Tomlinson, no. Last time this team finished 500 or game above, they went up. Steelers going up. Like I said, second place Steelers. Steelers getting the playoffs. Go Steelers. Go Steelers.
Wow,
They make the
man.
playoffs. I love Coach Thomas. Love the Steelers organization, but I'm not a fan of them. I like how they handle business. Since I've been alive, Steelers only had 3 coaches. No, the Chin, and Tomlin. That's it. Gotta respect.
Wow.
Same system. And see, I say this every offseason, fellas. Teams that have long tenured coaches, like the Patriots, they never gonna be garbage. The Steelers will never be garbage. Who else out there? Buffalo trending that way. Look at Kansas City. Coach been there for a while. This ain't going nowhere, fella. It's not going nowhere. Baltimore not going anywhere. Baltimore gonna always be competitive. But I like the Steelers to pull up at 12-5. At the 11-6. Steelers gonna pull up 11-6.
Wow.
Now let me take a step back. 10-7.
All right, so we got the
10-7 or 11-6. They gonna pull up.
But
they will lose week 3 against them Raiders. I'm going down, baby. You know you're losing.
He got the Steelers coming in at 10-7. He's not buying Baltimore. Yeah. Hey, y'all remind me when Baltimore start off 5-1 or 6-1. Tell me not to go crazy, because they do it to me every year. That's 2 years in a row. We've been doing this show. Me and Greasy kicked it off in October of 2021.
Yeah.
2021. We kicked it off in October 2021, and I was all on Baltimore both years. And I would sit there and I would say to Greasy, man, Cincinnati just keep winning, and Baltimore will lose a game they ain't got no business, and they're going to mess around and let Cincinnati win the division, and they do it every year. So y'all just remind me this year. Don't go crazy with Baltimore start off 5-0. I still want to pick them to come out that AFC. I don't know why. But we're coming up on our 100th show. Just wanted to drop that tidbit in there. We're on show number 89, folks.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
11 shows, man. So by the time we roll right back around into Crushtober, which is our favorite part of the year, we'll be looking at show number 100, man. And we just want to take time out and say thank you, for those that give us a listen, and those that share, those that support, those that have even donated, stars, whatnot. We appreciate all that, shares and everything like that, man. Just a couple of high school pals, man, with a little equipment and just a voice. So we appreciate y'all.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
What's your take on the Ravens, Juice?
Well, Lamar finally got his money. Well deserved. He's got weapons. He's got an OBJ that's still got some fuel left in the tank. He's got to stay healthy. They brought in Nelson Aguilar for more speed. They drafted that kid from Boston College. They still got KJ Dobbins. And as far as the defense, they lost Marcus Peters, but they actually added 2 DBs from your Raiders who didn't allow a touchdown in coverage. Trayvon Mullen, and I forget the other kid's name, but they didn't allow a touchdown. So maybe that'll improve their secondary, because their secondary was pretty bad, even with Marcus Peters. But I think with the additions on the offense, Lamar, I've seen him do interviews. He's so excited and ready to play. I think I see them winning 9 or 10 games this year.
Yeah, I got you, Juice. I'm gonna give the Ravens 9-8 this season. This is the team I was talking about this forward handoff. This is how Lamar going to perform without no RPO. The game is won from the pocket. Name the last running quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Oh, my bad, there hasn't been one. But anyway, you have to be one from the pocket. Ravens. You know how this story goes. Somebody get their money, they don't show up next season. It is what it is. I mean, let's go through it. We got time. We can go through them. They don't show up. Yeah. You did all the moaning, the groaning, get your change. I didn't think he was gonna get his change, but I'm glad he got his change. And Now there's been some changes with the forward handoff that ain't happening. So, Mr. Lamar, we're gonna see if we can take a 3-step, drop back, or you can run it out the shotgun and see if you can hit some targets.
They've got no excuses. Lamar's got no excuses now. He's got weapons. He just got to use them.
Nelson Aguilar, yeah, that's nice, but that's a one-trick pony. He could just go deep. Odell, yeah, you can make some things. Odell sitting out there with a quarter tank of gas. You know, we're gonna see. We're gonna see though. But I got them pulling in at third at 9-8, or they'll go 10-7, tie with the Steelers, and the Steelers are on the tiebreaker. It don't matter. But I got them in third place in that division.
Third place in that division. So what's up with Cleveland? Ain't nobody biting on Cleveland with Deshaun Watson and all that?
That's the Browns. We talking about the Browns. I don't give a damn who they get. That's the Browns. Hey, something gonna happen to where it's like, this the Browns. This is what they do. The Browns ain't been good since '89. When they had Hanford Dixon and Frank Middlefield and Clay Matthews and Bernie Kosar and Kevin Mack and Ernest Bynum. Man, them days over with.
Jim Banks.
That team moved to Baltimore with Art Modell. That team gone. That team gone.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night. I tell you what, I still like Chubb behind that offensive line. I still like Myles Garrett. What was the defensive back they drafted out of LSU?
Grant Delpit.
Greedy Williams.
Greedy Williams, yeah. They got two LSU dudes.
Yeah, I'm Greedy. I don't know. I guess I don't really watch a lot of Cleveland Browns games. I do see him get Cincinnati. I do watch them when they play Cincinnati for some reason. But yeah, he's playing solid. And I would like to see him take that next step into being top 3, 4, 5 corner in the league. Some of those older corners, Patrick Peterson, even the Jalen Ramsey, they getting on up there. It's time for Sauce Gardner, Stingley Jr. We got Surtain. We got Porter Jr. Got Gonzalez out of New England. He should be right there in that whole, young and up and coming top 5 type thing. Diggs out there in Dallas. Yeah, I know y'all Dallas boys love him to death, but yeah.
I was talking about this.
Getting burnt up.
With a friend / coworker of mine, Eve. Shout out to Eve, my boy. We were talking. He asked me a question. He said, "Name me top 5 corners in the NFL." I'm like, that's kind of hard. There's no more Charles Woodson's, Ryan Woodson's, Deion. All that's gone. Champ Bailey's and the Springs and the Reeves. Man, all that's gone. I mean, who's just really out there that can lock up one side of the field? That's gone. So he had to rephrase the question. Top 5 DBs. They were all safety. All safety. I think the corner position is kind of falling off in the NFL. I thought Jalen was that dude, and I seen him get cooked a few times. I was like, no. So, but with Cleveland, I see this every year. I see all that look like Nelson Aguilar. Like I said, one trick pony. But it's just something about it. It's just not there. It's just not there. I don't know if it's the coaching or I don't know. But this team just underachieved. And I'm tired of waiting. And I'm sure the people in Cleveland, the dog pound, they tired. It's time for something else out here. It's time. What you got on the juice?
Well, I mean, even though they finished last a season ago, they only won 7. They only won 7 games. I think I can see them maybe winning 8 games, but I still see them finishing last because I just don't think Watson has enough around him. Myles Garrett he's still going to wreck shop, but and then losing Kareem Hunt too. They lost depth at the running backs. So Nick Chubb, I mean, he's great, but he's gonna have to carry most of the load, and not having Kareem Hunt to split carries, I think that's gonna hurt them too.
Oh yeah. Luckily, we don't have King Dre on here because he might say Chubb might get hurt or something. You know how he'll call the injury out, and I'll be doggone it'll happen. I'll be like, oh, what?
Yeah.
You can speak this into existence. Okay.
Yeah.
Got on the dot.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, the Browns got a speech. You don't even. Not just set up here and say the only time I watch them is.
So Juice Man, y'all not buying Cleveland at all. Juice Man agrees and said they are not buying Cleveland as a threat in the NFC North. Not at all. Okay. Question. Round table, ladies and gentlemen. The Steelers defense will return to top 5 status this season.
What? Top 10. Top 10, not 5.
I'll say top 10. They lost a lot of dudes. They lost a lot of guys on defense.
And that's right at number 10.
Yeah.
Right at number 2.
Yeah. They lost Cameron Sutton. They lost Devin Bush. Terrell Edmonds, he's gone. But they did bring in Pat. They did bring in Pat Peterson, who, you know, I mean, I know he's up there in age. He's 32, but I think he still got some left too, as being a solid corner. He's no longer elite. He's no longer. Huh? Yeah, he's still listening out here. No.
I thought they picked up a linebacker. I was like, oh, that's good pick. Not in the draft, in free agency.
No, so. Yeah.
But the main thing is the Steelers still have their core, but they're Watt and Meek.
Yeah.
You know, so they good. They'll be good.
All right. So, question. The Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North if, and y'all fill in the blank.
If Joe Burrow is out for the season.
What was that?
Oh,
If
nice.
Joe Burrow is out for the season, if Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh O-line fails them this season again.
Okay. What about it, Juice Man?
I say the Ravens win the North if everybody's healthy.
If everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
I say the Baltimore Ravens win the division if Roquan Smith and the defense can show some similarities of the early 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense. They finished in top 7, I think, last year after they got Smith shored up. They need to get rid of Peters and some of those guys that are long in the tooth in the secondary. They doing a little bit too much chasing instead of covering for my life.
Yeah.
You know, I look up. You know, they getting burnt up or blowing hamstrings trying to keep up with these young receivers. But I think if their defense can get in that top 3-5-ish area, I mean, we already know it's San Francisco, the Jets. Who else have a good defense? Dallas going to have a good defense.
Yep.
You know, if they can hang around somewhere up in there, they'll be all right. That's my prediction on Baltimore. All right, next question. What does Cincinnati have to do to repeat as champions of the NFC North?
Protect Joe Burrow.
That's it.
Protect Joe Burrow.
Nothing else. He said just protect Joe Burrow, and that's it. They're good.
They're good.
Keep him upright. Keep him jersey straight.
They're good.
Don't agree.
Protect Joe Burrow, and everything is going to be okay.
You ain't going to ask me about the Browns, but they need.
The Cleveland Browns can win the AFC North if
Y'all not gonna like my answer.
what's that?
I don't think it's nothing they can do to win the NFC North.
He's just saying nothing they can do to win the NFC North. He said it ain't happening. What about it, Juice? What about it, Juice, man?
I gotta go with what Greasy's saying, man. They're not good. They're not good enough to win it. They're not good enough to win the division.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. They got probably the best running back in the league behind Derrick Henry. I mean, it's Derrick Henry and Chubb. Pick your poison, right? They got a good offensive line.
Henry ain't even top 5 no more. Just scratch it.
They got what, one of the top 3 edge rushers. I mean, it's basically one of the top 4 edge rushers. Right. It's either Garrett, Bosa, Parsons, or what's the other guy? Come on, y'all help me out.
TJ.
Garrett, yeah, Watt. It's either Watt, Garrett, Bosa, or Parsons. I mean, that's the top 4 edge rushers in the league. So I'm just gonna say the Browns can win the division if Myles Garrett goes Reggie White 1990, 90 Eagles, 21 sacks in 12 games. I think
you asking a lot, Doc.
Wow.
I think it was the 87 season. Reggie White. No, listen there was a strike shortened season. Check this out. Reggie White had 21 sacks in 12 games. Jerry Rice had 22 touchdowns receiving in 12 games. Guess who won the freaking MVP? John Elway. He threw 17 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. How did you not get MVP to Jerry Rice? 22 touchdowns in 12 games. 21 sacks in 12 games. But yeah, if Myles Garrett goes Reggie White 1987 and has almost 30 sacks, that basically means the offense can't run a play. The opposing offense can't run a play. If Deshaun Watson goes 2016 Clemson, what if he just has one of those seasons where it's just happening for him? I mean, he's been out the league 3 years. I mean, he don't got that much time left. I mean, to make something happen, he's not getting another big contract. Maybe he just has one more year where he just shows what he could be and, make some noise. But that's my pick on Cleveland. We'll get more into it as we slide into our more in-depth. This right now, we're just trying to wet y'all whistle. You know what I'm saying? We got Crushtober coming up. Congratulations to the LSU Tigers.
Go Tigers.
They won the College World Series. It was kind of like that first game was a thriller. Wow. And then LSU was just kind of like, let's just get it to game 3, and Florida scored all these points. And then game 3, LSU was just like, man, we're ready to go home.
Right. They gave them back.
So they did that, and they beat the brakes up off of them. And we're going to wrap this thing next week. I'm thinking we're going to do some we got to go back to the NFC next week. I don't want to do the NFC West, not yet, because I got some stuff.
You better not say nothing about the damn Broncos.
I gotta see what's going on with San Francisco. I'm looking at Seattle. Seattle may be trouble like that. I don't want to go AFC. I don't want to go NFC West next week. I don't want to go NFC East next week. I think it may go NFC South. Let's see. We got Derek Carr. He's down there in New Orleans. We got the Falcons with John Robinson. We got Tampa Bay without Brady. We got Panthers with Stroud and the Young. I think we may do NFC South next week, man, and keep this thing on pushing and win. And then we got the 4th of July coming up next week. Hope everybody's safe and enjoy their weekend. And in 3 weeks, that Hall of Fame game come through, and boom, we're in preseason. We got the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star game, and we'll be on our 100th show, and we're gonna try to do something real fly for our 2-year anniversary at our 100th show. We gotta do something fly. Yeah. But I didn't mean to be long-winded. Juice Man, what's the story?
Sir. Got some sad news. Ryan Mallett, former NFL quarterback, played with the Pats, Texans, and Ravens, passed away earlier this week due to a drowning, apparently at a beach in Florida. Just 35 years old, man. He was 3-5 as a starter. Only played like 21 games, 9 TDs, 10 picks. Played his college ball at Michigan in 2007, and then played at Arkansas 2008 through 2010. He was the 74th pick, 2011 draft, 3rd round. Life is short, man. Thoughts and prayers to his family. Rest in peace.
Lord.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Mallett. It's been some crazy things going on with the water.
Yeah.
You know, the submarine thing, and then we got this going on. And
Man, don't talk about the submarine, man.
It was a kid.
I watched the Titanic for the first time in my life this weekend. And it started off with that submarine. Yes. It started off with that submarine going to the bottom.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And we definitely want to say prayers up to King Dre, man. On a serious note, prayers up to King Dre. If you know, you know. Y'all, time is getting short, man. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all be good to each other, man.
Put the guns down and let's stop the violence.
Stay out of the way of suckers, man, and just watch your back, man. Be aware at all times, man. It's just, you know, we're rocking with you, King Dre. We're definitely praying for you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Fronting and running behind that. But yeah, that's a wrap. We finna slide up out of here. The Just North Sports Show. Every Friday night, it's 8 p.m. Anchor FM, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon Music now, the YouTube channel now. We got the IG. We got M Greasy the Don on IG. We got Dr. Producer on Facebook and the Just North Sports Show on IG. We're all over the place. We're on the radio.
Where else might be?
Man, we're on speakers, some breaker cast, something.
No. I don't think you're following me, Doc. Where else we might be? Might even be in your mama's bedroom.
And let's see, we're on iHeartRadio. So yeah, we're on iHeartRadio. We're on that iHeartRadio app. So y'all, we appreciate y'all, man. And we're gonna continue to push this thing, and then maybe one day we'll be a radio show. You never know. Gotta start somewhere. But it's been a blast, fellas. I appreciate y'all taking the time in to jump in and make this thing happen. And next week we'll be back with our producer, M Greasy, Juice Man, the Boogie, DJ Coach Dre, Big E on assignment. I'll be on the lookout for Chris Tover, Just North Sports.